I would say the most painful life I saw was when that did happen and I denied my own gifts. I denied them to like the public to save myself, and then I actually ended up believing it. So I was
Oh,
like this
wow.
really amazing, and that one, like, just every time I think about it, it breaks my heart because I denied who I was to myself. And I was
Yeah.
like, man, that was, I lied in public, but I actually believed it. And that's why I'm so careful about what I say out loud, because I was like, it was like I had brainwashed myself. And I'm like, that's why
Mhm.
it's so important to not just speak your truth privately, but to speak it publicly, because it's almost like a reinforcement, I think.
Totally. Yeah, it's taking our power back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it really is. And thinking about some of my past lives, that's interesting. Were those the ones that first came up for you? For the challenging
No.
ones? Okay.
No, I mean, I feel like I don't know what your experience is. I'm like, I feel like
Yeah.
90% of them are challenging. Like, and I guess it's because I'm looking at what, there's good things about them. But I am always looking at like, hey, why do I have blocked energy around something?
Ah,
So I'm always looking at like, hey, what was a core issue? Like, is this coming up again? Right.
yeah.
And it's like, and I'm sure you see this too. It's like an onion, right? You deal with some stuff on the surface and then you go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yes.
And it's like a lot of the same issues, but you're like, oh, I thought I was over this issue. And you're like, nope, I'm still dealing with like the fear of judgment or the fear of, using my voice. And it's just a different past life. So I feel like those have come. Sometimes I do set an intention to look at like a positive past life. If I'm just all like kind of in a rut, I actually will
Hmm.
go and I'll think like, what are some like gifts I had in another lifetime that I can call on right now? Because I'm like really struggling. Like I have ADD and I'm really bad at managing a lot of stuff. And
Yeah.
so I'll be like, I know there was a life where I was like super organized. And so I remember seeing this past life where I was like a professional like cellist and I was like a musician and I was just so great about like consistently um doing my practice and like doing my like playing music and like just I was so dedicated, and so I always am going back to that one. I was like, I know how to do this, I really do, I just have to call on that. So but to answer your question, no, they always come in at different times. So I feel
Okay.
like I'm always uncovering more, and like, I'm like, how many times am I going to deal with this? But it's just, I guess
Uh-huh.
there's no limit apparently.
Apparently, right. I feel you. Yes. So, I think it's about the intention and the space and what we need because my first past lives that I started,
Yes.
yeah, I started going into was where I was a healer, but it was like positive. It was like remembering my gifts and seeing how I was working with
Yeah.
energy and all of this. And then
Hmm.
lifetimes not on earth and a lot of messages there. And there was some heaviness in that one, but it wasn't the focus, and that heaviness
Right.
didn't really like become highlighted till later on when it was like, oh,
Hmm.
what's coming up in this life. And I like a few things that came up in this life I wasn't really expecting had the past life ties to them. But my
Mm.
healer, yeah, I went to see her and she's like, oh, and I'm seeing all this. It's kind of cool working with another healer because she'll see a piece to it and it matches what I've seen. And then the puzzle is
Yeah, I love
complete.
that. Hmm.
Yeah. So I was like, really? Man, I thought like, we'd be past this by now. And like you said,
Right.
though, it's just the same theme, another person in another lifetime or layer deeper, like a
Right.
continuation. And so having that awareness, although it can be, let's say, just like really intense, it was for me very intense. And it took a lot of my energy and effort to, I guess, like heal or get to the bottom of it all. But it was many
Hmm.
lifetimes. Man, I'm
Yeah.
so glad I did because I just feel like a whole different person after we get through it and we heal it and we release.
Yeah.
Especially like
It really
contracts.
does. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It
yeah.
really, really changes um kind of, yeah, everything. I mean, and I can give an example of this. I grew up going to